Hello, everybody, and welcome to Midlife Mojo Mondays with myself, Jill Lebofsky. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the many moods of menopause. And I am especially pumped up tonight because right after this video, about 8 o'clock, I'm going to be doing my webinar I've been preparing for weeks now, the All Natural Menopause Survival Kit. And if you haven't pre-registered for that, you can go ahead. I will, at the end of this, put it in the registration in the comments, and you can register right before and get on and get the link and watch away. It'll be about an hour video, an hour webinar, and I'm just really excited. I'm just going to be talking menopause pretty much all night long. You know, for some people that's just silly, but me, kind of exciting. I don't know. So while I just wait an extra minute for some people to get on, I just wanted to throw out. I hate this part. I say this every week. I hate this part where you're just kind of waiting for company. So while I do, I thought that I would throw out a trivia question every single week, a trivia question that kind of relates back to the 70s, the 60s, the 80s, that era where many of the people who are going through midlife grew up in. So tonight's question. Now, this is a family favorite TV show of mine growing up, my husband tells some story of this big fight that he remembers breaking out over the season finale of the show. I don't remember, but anyways, it was the show Family Ties. So does everybody remember that show Family Ties? So if you can remember the name of the character of Michael J. Fox, go ahead and in the comments, just go ahead and write Michael J. Fox's full name character. And what I'm going to do today is, out of all of the correct answers, I'll pick a random winner, and I'm going to give a prize out this week. So go ahead definitely and write your answer. What was Michael J. Fox's character in the show Family Ties? All right, well, enough about that. So we're going to get going and get started right now. As I mentioned earlier, tonight we're going to be talking about the many moods of menopause. And I'm going to read a few paragraphs from my new book, No Sweat, It's Just Menopause, Eating, Exercise, and Essential Oils for a Healthy Change. And I've got a chapter on, I think I call it The Many Moods of Menopause. So I'm going to be reading a little bit from that tonight. But really, mood changes were the first, for myself, recognizable sign that just something was off. I am a pretty upbeat, positive person, and I just was feeling low. I was feeling unmotivated. I have a lot of people in my family, not a lot, I have some people in my family who have diagnosable depression, so I do know how low it can get, and maybe not that low, but for myself, I had never felt that way before. Anxiety, a lot of lack of confidence, and I really hate to admit it because I talk about positive self-talk all the time, but I definitely was thinking of myself as a loser. And that just does not sit well with me. I do not let myself get down for very long or think that way. I know that's a very slippery slope, so I try to shift my mental state as quickly as I can, but none of the tricks I was doing were working. I finally went to my doctor. I'm 48 years old. I was starting to back then, I was a couple of years ago, so I was a little bit younger. I was starting to skip periods. It's been about a year I've been skipping periods. And it dawned on me, maybe, this new me, which I did not like, maybe it really wasn't me. Maybe it had something to do with these hormones that I had been told start around this age. So I went to my gynecologist. I asked if I could have my hormones tested after telling him how I was feeling. And he said no. He said if I was still getting my period, that I didn't need to get tested. And the message I got, I don't know if that's how he intended it, but I got the message of suck it up. Menopause is normal. And that just did not sit well with me. Was I supposed to go through life like that? I mean, go through my daily day snipping at my family, my friends. That's just unacceptable. So that's kind of why I kind of started my whole journey. And I had been using essential oils for a while now, and I had was thinking about it, and I guess I was never, again, I'm not a person who has real lows or real up and down until this time. So although I had been using maybe the essential oils in the diffuser and things as a little pick-me-ups, I hadn't really used them for emotions or emotional release. And so that's where I kind of started to do some research about essential oils and how could they help me more with all of these crazy emotions that I was feeling, and just feeling lousy in general. And let me just read here. So I'm going to read from my book, my chapter, a little bit, a couple of pages just from my chapter about the moods. But before I do, the solutions that I'm going to be giving are about essential oils. And not sure who's on this, if everybody knows about essential oils. So I'm just going to give a real brief, 2-second gist of it, just so that when I give the solutions of why essential oils I feel are such a great way to help your emotions during this time and help those crazy moods, it might make more sense to you. So first of all, the quickest way to get essential oils really into your body is to inhale them. How easy is that? Like, all you got to do is open up a bottle, take a sniff. You could put some in the diffuser right here. I've got oils going here in the diffuser. You can use diffuser jewelry. This is a diffuser bracelet. I've got some diffuser necklaces here. Ooh, what's going on there? Right here. I've got another style here. A mess. All right, so there's all different kinds of ways that you can use your oils all day long to inhale. You can have a diffuser at home. You can have one at the office. You can have one in every room. And I find that inhaling the oils, especially for mood, because it works so quickly for menopausal women, is just vital. You just walk you come home from work, you're not feeling good, stick on the diffuser. Before everybody starts at you, you kind of are getting your mood better back on kilter. Let me just see right here. Okay, so when you do start to inhale an oil, what happens is the molecules travel through your brain. So they travel from your nose through your brain back to the limbic system part of your brain, which is where the emotional response happens. It takes roughly about 25 seconds. I've seen a whole different numbers, but roughly about 25 seconds for the oils to actually start taking an effect. So that is, to me, the quickest fix that I know of really starting to make a change, which is why I love to have it on me all day long, knowing that that's all it takes for me to, really just start feeling better and changing things off. I think about smells in general, different aromas, different scents that you have that really can also evoke memories. I know, like for myself, I smell a toasted onion bagel and I might as well be sitting right at my grandma's table. That house always smelled of toasted onion bagels, even when there wasn't onion bagels toasting. For some people, essential oils can do the same thing. You can smell an oil and it can bring back a memory. Maybe you smell a peppermint and it reminds you of drinking peppermint tea, with your girlfriends in college or things like that. So essential oils can definitely help bring back memories. And they can also help release. Emotional trauma is stored on the cellular level. And if you do some more research about the science behind oils, that's where they can work at the cellular level. So they can really help you release any kind of emotions that you've got going. So let's see. All right, so how about I just get to my book then? I think that's all I wanted to kind of say. We'll do a little bit more reading, get you some solutions here for your crazy moods. Yes, and I did name my chapter The Many Moods of Menopause. And I'm going to start partway through the first, here kind of starts here. I'm going to start on part here where I feel like it just kind of gets right into things. One of my closest friends is 75 years old. When I shared with her how out of sorts I felt due to my perimenopausal issues, she said, "This is the time in your life when all the stuff you've shoved deep down for years comes up for you to deal with." According to a study from the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, between 1850 and 1900, many women were sent to insane asylums for mental health conditions relating to their normal bodily functions. The researchers found suppressed menstruation, aka menopause, to be a common reason for admittance. And only 120 years ago, husbands could have their wives imprisoned for using foul language and being too emotional. Let's just say I'm happy to be living in these times. Although who could blame my poor husband living with a hormonal wife and 2 hormonal teens? The kids have their own attitude adjuster essential oil blend. But I have found that using Progessence Plus and Clary Sage consistently, 1 drop of each twice a day, I'm also using them for my hot flashes too, that's 2 benefits, has helped keep me even more even-keeled. Some of the things we physically experience at this time in our lives actually have emotional roots. Hot flashes may be a manifestation of your feelings. Many women experience hot flashes when they are angry, especially if they don't have an outlet for their anger. Vicki Noble, author of Shakti Women, Feeling Our Fire, Healing Our World, suggests hot flashes are the body's way of naturally cleansing what it no longer needs. One of the best ways to overcome negative feelings is through keeping a journal. Find a quiet space, put some essential oils in your diffuser, and write those feelings right out of your head. You can diffuse oils such as peace and calming and joy to create a serene and uplifted mood. Emotional release. Essential oils may also help us release buried emotions from old trauma or deeply seated beliefs we may not even realize we hold about ourselves. We need to face our demons or negative emotions head on, and essential oils are an easy and natural way to uplift our mood, let go of hurt and anger, and step into the best versions of ourselves. The essential oil blend Release, placed between the lower ribs and stomach towards the right side of the body over the liver, which is an organ thought to store anger, is a great place to start. Other essential oil blends, such as Forgiveness, Acceptance, and Hope, can be powerful allies to help you deal with difficult feelings once and for all. In the book, Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils, author Carolyn Mine, DC, recommends the appropriate oils to use for specific emotional issues, where on your body to put them, and includes a positive affirmation statement to say aloud to help reprogram and change the negative belief patterns. And you'll find some new examples of that in the next chapter. So some other ideas for relaxing and enjoying life I've just added here. A couple of other things to do just to relax yourself instead of oils or with your oils. I always like to add oils into everything I do. You can spend time with your hand in the soil, tending your garden. They're very, very peaceful. Anything out in nature is very peaceful, like sitting quietly by a water and just listening. You can grab a magazine or a book, the real thing, not a screen, and just read. That's definitely a go-to for me. Meet up with a friend you haven't seen in a while, pamper yourself, get a massage, an organic facial or mani. Shut off all devices for an hour every day and do something creative. It's amazing. When you get your mind doing other things, all of the nuttiness that goes on just goes away. It doesn't have room for that. So, sorry, I'm ad-libbing from my book. All right, last 2. Start every day by journaling or visualizing your day exactly as you'd like it to unfold. And last one of my favorites, play with your pet. Find a new trail to walk, look for a dog park, and meet new people. So that's just a little bit of snippets from my book, No Sweat, It's Just Menopause, Eating, Exercise, and Essential Oils. I am one more time I'm going to announce this, about to start in about 25 minutes, a full-on 1-hour webinar on using essential oils specifically for your menopause. We're going to take on 4 of the most common complaints, one of them being mood, and go and just dig a little bit deeper, and give you a few more recommendations. So if you're interested in following me and for the webinar or joining me, as soon as I get off here, I'll quickly put it into the comments and you can pre-register and get that information. Otherwise, you know, I think it's really, really important. I think our emotions affect our body. And so I think one of the first places, if you were really struggling with anything with menopause, is to really think about how your mental health, your emotions, let's get those hormones balanced. I'm not oblivious to the fact that, of course, you know, sometimes moods have things to do other than with hormones. Sometimes there's some real life scary things going on people are dealing with. But for the everyday ups and downs that kind of go on, you know, definitely consider essential oils as a great tool to have in your toolbox. All right, I hope to see some of you on the webinar. If not, tune in next week. I did start this a little bit early so I could be ready for the webinar, but typically we're 7:30 Monday nights. And for those of you who joined in late, I have a trivia question this week going on, and it's for a prize. I'll pick a random winner from the people who answer correctly. And the question is, from the TV show long ago, The Family Ties, Michael J. Fox's character, what was his full name? All right, that's it. Have a great night, everyone. Talk to you later.